Are you ready to kickstart your week with some dirt slinging and tire slaying action motorsports radio that packs the biggest guests?
Hi, Ken Block here.
Hey, my name's Jolene Van Vugt.
What's up, Brian Deegan?
Vaughn Ginn Jr. here.
They've been thrown into one show that has broken down the barriers of what a motorsports radio show should be. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, with support from General Tire, KMC Wheels, Dirtfish, Gibson Exhaust, and MTX Audio, with your host, who also happens to spend his weekends flying 800 horsepower trucks through the dirt, Jim Beaver.
When was the last time you saw an off-road or rally driver begging to get behind the wheel of a NASCAR Indy car? Yep, not happening, but you sure see these pavement racers begging to drive our cars.
And his partner in crime every week, a self-proclaimed Canadian moto chick who was jumping triples and taking podiums before most guys even learned to ride, Amy Hood.
No one knows how to say my last name. Like, is it really that hard? Amy Hood, like I'm from the hood. Don't get it twisted.
Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to join us as we take you through a motorsports ride like no other. Here is the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other, Jim Beaver.
Good morning. Welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, and I am already laughing in studio. Got my good friend Jolene Van Vugt sitting across the desk from me. We got 2 hours of heck of a lot of fun radio. Got a lot of Polaris Razor Star Car announcements to make. I know I missed a week on air last week. It's because of Star Car. Told you I had something big coming, and I sure did. But we got Jolene here. We're going to talk a ton of Star Car. Got Tanner Foust later on in the show. Also have Ashley Wilke. She was on ground at the Daytona 500, and yes, she is a monster girl. And as you guys know, if you read any kind of motorsports or social media, man, those girls were getting a little bit of heat. So we're going to get to the bottom of things with Ashley Wilke. And I don't know, we got a little Supercross to talk, and I think Supercross moving to Toronto. So I don't know, maybe Jolene's got some input, maybe some local insider knowledge there or something like that. I don't know, you got any insider knowledge on Toronto Supercross?
Not really. I haven't been around that scene for a while, and I can't even remember the last time I got to go to a Toronto Supercross. I miss being able to go there and see the racing.
It's worth flying home over, I'm thinking.
I don't think I have the time.
All right. Well, we got a whole lot to talk about here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Hang tight. We'll be back right after this break. And I don't know, Jolene and I, we're going to talk some Star Car.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Do you race or are you a weekend warrior? Have you checked on the date on your helmet recently? Don't get caught off guard by using an outdated helmet. Impact Racing, the leader in motorsport safety, has new SA 2015 helmets to fit your budget. Whether you're looking for a helmet with a full carbon fiber shell to take you to victory at the Indy 500 or just looking for some helmets for a weekend at Glamis, Impact Racing has a helmet for you. Find out more information at impactraceproducts.com or on Facebook at Impact Safety. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver and Jolene Van Vue. We'll get her mic'd up here in the studio, and this is kind of fun. We've been knocking out some interviews. Got you on Project Action later this week that we already taped, and here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show. So
yeah, getting back on the radio. It's been a while since I've done a lot of interview things, so it's
getting your mojo back,
getting back into it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. We've known each other for quite some time, and I think I don't know, we were talking about it. I think I've done probably at least 10 interviews with you. It's the first one in studio. It's kind of fun to have you here.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, we always usually calling in from Maryland, from Trav's house.
Yeah, I know.
When I'm training for something.
You'd be doing something, and like it would be like you'd get on air, and you'd be like, you could tell you're breathing hard and everything else. Oh, I just got done out of the foam pit or something like that, you know?
Half the time I would set an alarm, and then I'd be like, oh, crap, I'm going to miss the interview, running somewhere to find some silence.
Buried under 6 feet of foam. And yeah, so what brings us here is this small little project called Polaris Star.
Just a tiny project. Just small.
Yeah. So those of you tuning in, obviously I was off air last week, mainly because I had a sponsor summit. We had to dial in final details of Polaris Star Car. It's out in the wild. Now we've got videos dropping, livery dropping, guest driver announcements dropping, cough, cough, Tanner Foust. We've got all kinds of stuff dropping today, but we got Jolene in studio. So we're talking about this thing because from day one when I decided I want to launch this, I want Jolene as my partner in this project. And
which I don't know what you were thinking.
Yeah.
No. So honored and grateful that you thought of me for this. This is going to be a rad ride.
It's going to be a ton of fun. Yeah, and I think it's going to be good, too, because, like, when we get to the UTV World Championship, like, we start – 30 razors side by side, and it's like a smoke bomb start all to one like funnel in.
Which is something I've never done before.
I was gonna say, but you're like used to coming out of the gates moto style,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like there's like a short course section that's gonna cross over well. So I'm like, there's some spots where I think you can teach me a few things.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited about this project, obviously, because it's, razors, which I've newly become very passionate about and fallen in love with over the past few years, but also it's a completely new challenge. You inviting me out to experience this whole desert series and a different world. So that is definitely my type of thing, is to always push myself into things that I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing.
We don't want to bring up short courses.
But I just get such, that's just what makes me feel alive, is to do all these rad things with cool people across the world. And I get to do this with you. I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, you get to, and not only that, you're coming off this past weekend. We've been up there at Heydays. I think we met the Catus, and things steamrolled from there. And you were racing snowcross. That was a little out of your wheelhouse.
Yeah, it was. Like you said, at Terracross, we just kind of crossed paths, and Jeff Catu said he had a team, and I was like, oh my God, that'd be so cool. And then all of a sudden, I'm up in Mount Pleasant on a sled racing the women's class, and getting my ass handed to me. It was so much fun. I had one of the greatest experiences getting to get back into racing and get back into something that was not even remotely close, to my element, but has all those same racing feels of stuff I grew up with and I know very well. So it was cool to add those two elements together of, stuff I know and stuff I know nothing about, and then just have fun with it. And the Catus were amazing and very hospitable.
Yeah, you feel like going into something like that too. I know, like you've got, and especially and I don't mean this bad, but you've got women's professional, or it's like a pro-am division, I think. Women's professional snowcross. I mean, it's about as niche motorsport as you can get, but the girls in there, shredders.
Yeah, they're awesome. I mean, it was really cool to get to see that experience. One of the things that I love is going into all these different divisions of action sports and seeing the women that are kicking ass and thriving, and it just gets me really excited to go out there and join them. So I got that this weekend with snowcross, and I had a blast.
Yeah, you feel like there's enough good, talented women, and not just here. I know that in Europe there's a ton of them, and some of them are coming over here to the States. But, I mean, do you feel like it's something that's big enough that at some point, you look at Winter X Games, and snowcross has become a big part of Winter X Games, one of the premier events. Do you feel like there's enough women that they could conceivably at some point bring in like a women's division?
Yeah, I mean, I never
X?
even thought of that, but I think that would be a really cool concept. I think if you gather up, all the fastest women across the world to get that platform, you'd have a good class.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. I start brainstorming, right?
Yeah. So X Games, are you listening?
Yeah. No, the thing is they do, and I'll send emails, and I think sometimes they're like, man, why does he have to say that? Because he's right, but we don't want to do it.
Well, I'm certain the girls of snowcross would be super stoked to be able to have that platform.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it. So you're not only just doing that one event, though. It sounds like you're doing another one.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It was one of those things that if I had the opportunity, I was gonna try to get in there as much as I could. But between scheduling and different things, the two races I was lucky enough to be able to do. So Mount Pleasant, which was this past weekend, and Lake Geneva, which is in a few weekends from now. So
what do you got to do to train between now and then? A little cardio?
Yeah. I mean, well, I'm in pretty good shape. I mean, I had already, been working pretty hard in the new year, coming off my last surgery to get all the hardware taken out of my body from my accident.
Screws poking through your arm like last time I saw you?
No more screws sticking out and bugging me, so I can, I was just really stoked after everything that had happened a year and a half ago with that horrible accident to be able to really just get my body back and then be able to go fully into training and getting physical therapy, getting my arm working properly again. And so I thought I was doing pretty good, and then I got out on that snowcross track and I was like, wow, there's a few things I still need to work on. Most definitely. And I mean, there's always room for improvement everywhere, and the sled just not having that be something I do, and obviously not being in a race environment for a very long time, and then not being in just even an environment where I'm getting my body, beat in a manner like that, for quite a while since before my accident. It was just...
It was so much more abusive than moto too, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. And I, it was even, I was expecting a beating, but it came in an even heavier package. But so, yeah, it definitely just, the sled, it also different muscles, different things being used, different things being slammed, and then anything I've ever kind of been used to, also. So it was kind of interesting to see how that all works. And I actually got thumb cramp, which I've never had in my entire life. With dirt bike throttle, razor, it's foot. So I completely didn't even think about the fact that my thumb is engaged the entire time with the throttle on the sled, and I actually had to have a massage the other day to get my thumb working again, because it was all cramped up and there was all these knots in it and everything. So there's just all these different elements, and that's what happens when you kind of go off into different elements of
Reminds me of a
sports.
Travis story. You talk about your thumb cramp. All this is going on, your body's being beat up, and you got a thumb cramp.
Right?
It was like there was some video somewhere where somebody they landed on their head. Yeah, and they got a calf cramp. And Travis is like, you just landed on your head and you got a calf cramp. How does that work?
Oh my God, that's like one of my favorite lines from the Nitro Circus 3D movie. And that was Dusty Weigel crashing, and Trav was just standing there staring at him like, are you kidding me? You got a calf cramp? Like, I'm like, these things happen. You know, this is real.
This is true.
This is the struggle. Yeah, for sure. So.
Oh, too much fun. So, yeah, we are going to take a short break here, but we got Jolene on the line. She's going to be popping in and out throughout today, but we got another segment with her coming up. So, got any fan questions, definitely hit me up. It's at JimBeaver15 on Twitter, and we will get those answered, Jolene. We got a couple of them in the
Make them good,
pipe.
people.
Yeah,
Make them good.
Got a few good ones in the pipe, so love to have a few more. So it's at JimBeaver15 on Twitter. You can answer them directly to Jolene Van Vugt. So you got about 3-4 minutes to get those in, and we'll get them rolling. So we're going to take a short break. Be back in about 3 minutes here on your favorite action motorsports radio show, the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. And I think I jumped the gun out of that commercial break by about 30 seconds. So we'll have to see there. But I don't know, that might make things interesting for our producers. But anyways, I'm not too worried about it. Not my problem. Sorry, producers. Yeah, Jolene Van Vugt in here in the house having social media difficulties.
I can't. I'm supposed to post something, and I can't figure it out. I know that sounds really stupid, but
yeah. So by the way,
true.
Yeah, you guys listening in during the duration of this show, we got an awesome video on StarCar dropping.
We do,
so,
and I'm trying to drop it, but I don't.
She's trying to drop it for you, and
figure it out.
She's not dropping it like it's hot. It's like kind of dropping it like it's cold,
Oh my
really ice
God.
cold.
I'm dropping the ball, is what I'm doing.
So we're trying to drop a video on Jolene's account. It's set up to drop on mine. I can't promise you that will happen at this point, and I think General Tire and Polaris and possibly a couple of third parties, cough, cough, Tanner Foust, But yeah, no, it's we got lots of stuff. We got pictures being pumped out. I know I've had a bunch of people hitting me up on pictures on the Razor, things like that. I'm telling you, they're coming. We got some testing to do before the Mint too. Jolene out here in Parker, we're going to do some testing of this brand new Star Car Razor. Beautiful build that she hasn't seen or sat in yet.
No, I'm excited.
Excited or nervous?
Well, both.
You can't hurt it.
No, well, jeez, really? Do you know me?
I think at one time Jolene's like, I really want to get back into off-road trucks. I'm like, I'll let you test my trophy truck. She goes, you realize what happened last time I was in an off-road truck.
I was
I'm
like, you
yeah, I was like, yeah, maybe.
Are you sure? Yeah, no, I'm so excited for this project, but Jim just decided to tell me kind of how much this beautiful, lovely, fast, amazing Razor costs. And I'm kind of now afraid to even stand closer to it, I think.
She's got the deed to her house in Canada. I always wanted to be a dual citizen, and so she's just got it in her wallet there, and she told me, she's like, if something happens, I'll just sign the deed over.
Gosh.
So
yeah,
I might be living up there in Ontario.
I'm excited to race. I got to keep her on the four wheel.
That's the goal. So like I told Tanner, I told Jolene, I said, look, this is the first race of this brand new car. We've got some test miles, but not a lot. Like, we just need to go out and finish the first race, and we'll probably be in the top 10 if we just finish. But we just need to get it to the finish line and really give it a good shakedown. So the next race, we can just drop the hammer and go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is all new to me. This whole thing, and a Razor of this caliber, and getting to go out in the desert. I mean, the Mint 400 being my first race ever in this category. So it's all very exciting. Lots of nerves, lots of butterflies, lots of, oh shit, I hope I don't screw this up.
Yeah. Oh, we got an S-bomb there. All right, at 22 mark. Producers, I am helping you out today. That's why I was talking to Jolene before. That's why I love having her in studio, because we were talking before, and I was talking about how this is live on the internet, but it's not necessarily live in national syndication. It's because I have a tendency to drop some cuss words, and guests tendency to drop some cuss words, and guys like
is shit really considered a cuss word nowadays?
It is by the FAA.
I like how you're writing
FCC,
it down
and
again.
it's 2235 this time. No, but the FCC considers it a cuss word, so I can say anything on here like hell, ass, or
really ass and shit.
No, you can't say that. You can say hell, ass, and damn.
What's okay?
So we got that right. That you're up to 3, man. You are killing it today. No, yeah, and F-bombs are completely no.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a given. We were told that, too, with the TV show, with the Nitro show and stuff. They're like, can you please try not to use those? Yeah. But sometimes when you're in the moment, words are just flying, and they get bleeped out. So.
Well, it's like I laugh because I did the stuff with Mehdi and Tommy for his rally race. And I didn't realize cameras are rolling all the time, but they ended up having to do a lot of bleeping with me.
I mean, I think when there's a camera around, I'm pretty conscious of it, and I can kind of get a handle on trying to use. It's like being around a child. You try to use your friendly vocabulary, but as soon as you think the kids aren't listening or the cameras aren't rolling, you just kind of sailor language all over the place and talk like. But yeah, my mom gets a little upset with me sometimes, and I get home. I used to get home off tour and traveling around the world with just a boatload of dudes, and they're just the language on tour can sometimes get highly entertaining, especially when you're traveling with a bunch of Australians who like to use a specific 4-letter C word all the time in all of their conversations, which for some reason when they use it is actually not offensive, but I try to say it all the time, and it just doesn't work out. But my mom would just be like, would you stop talking like that? You sound like a bloody sailor.
See, and if you use bloody and you're in the right country, then all of a sudden that's taboo. You know what I mean? Right. You say bloody here all we want. It's all right. You go to England, and it's immediately it's like, I don't know. It's yeah, so I know S words, F words, and then male and female genitalia we're not allowed to talk about.
Oh.
Or use those
Great.
words. Other than that, we're pretty wide open.
Okay.
So
Good to know.
Trust me, I know these things because I've been called into the principal's office a time or two. Probably after this show we will too. So
Yeah, well, I did I did purposely say a few of those.
you just wanted to see how fast I
I
could
just
write.
wanted to see how many times you're going to write it down.
Oh my goodness!
Did anybody? There's questions. You had questions.
Yeah,
from
where are we going?
listeners.
We had.
Were we going to do
my
that?
phone was kind of blowing up. Yeah, we just started talking, and yeah, those of you guys want to hear us talk more. Project Action dropping this Thursday. We got like an hour with Jolene on there, and that one we're not bleeping any words. So just
I don't think I swore.
Yeah, the one you can swear on, you didn't,
Yeah, I don't
and the
think
one
I
you
did.
can't, you do. Sounds about right. All right, so here was the first one. 4-question from GRC fan page. She's a longtime listener to the show. I think she is in Charlotte, if I remember right. GRC fan. But what moto stunt is left on your bucket list? Is working in Hollywood. I saw that sign that they had over. Did you remember that sign they did? Oh, I don't know. You might have been out of the country then or something. Or it was. What was they? There was a bunch of stoners went up and they actually defaced the Hollywood sign and made it say
really?
Hollyweed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it was big news. Yeah, we get lost on this show quite frequently. Is working in Hollywood gratifying? What's the scariest stunt you've ever done, and how did we become friends? So a couple good ones in there.
Hollywood is amazing. That was a huge deal for me when I got the Catwoman job. Obviously, that was my first job in the Hollywood industry, and first thing I got to work on in that whole stunt community. And it was an instant love for me. I definitely am very grateful for getting the opportunity to audition for that job and then getting the job. And that's led to lots of other things that I've done sort of since, and most of them actually in the past year, since transferring over into doing more of the film and TV stuff. I'm really enjoying that new chapter of my life and getting to meet more and more people in the industry. Every time I do a job, I get to make new friends, and they're all amazing, talented, and welcoming, and it's really cool. So yes, that is unbelievably gratifying. Stunt, I think I probably got to go with like my all-time scariest sort of gnarly, look back now, what the hell was I doing, jumping into the Grand Canyon with
that
Travis.
one is nuts.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of elements had to come together for that to work the way it did. And I mean, it didn't even go exactly the way we planned. It kind of actually went south. But we were able to, when it went bad, we still made it go good. And so grateful, blessed that worked out the way it did. It was scary as shit.
There we go. We got
Write it
another
down.
one.
And what was the other question? You and I met through email
radio, yeah.
or something, maybe even social media. You wanted to do an interview, or maybe it was actually, I think we might have actually.
The first time we
MTV,
met was
no.
First time it
I
was
feel
through.
Somebody set up an interview with
Yes,
you.
it was
and
right
then-
around Torque when you did your Torque when you jumped the truck, or when you went to race Torque.
I feel like
the
it was
off-road
way
truck.
before
Was
that.
I don't
because
know.
I feel like I did
The
an
first
interview with you when we were doing the MTV TV show, which was
Okay.
back like 2009, 2010.
I don't know.
Actually, I don't. You know what?
I know the first time we ever
I don't
actually
even
met
know.
was at a Backstage in Nitro show.
Well, yeah, when we met, but we'd
Yeah.
done many different
Yeah, it was one of those-
interviews before that, just over telephone.
Yeah, just
So I
Just-
don't know.
I don't know,
Sorry,
kinda-
can't answer that question
we asked
exactly.
too many
But
years
just
ago.
through the interview process, we
Yeah.
met and became friends, and now we're doing this awesome project together.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fourth question. I can't remember what the fourth question was.
Fourth question was, anything basically left on your bucket list as far as stunts go? You got anything in the back of your head, sitting back there going, Jolene, you need to try this?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always stuff that I want to do and I want to try, and it kind of sits back there and plays around. I'm not certain what I'm ever really going to do until I'm in the moment of doing it, and I don't like to I don't claim. I'm not a really good person at the claim prior to getting it done type of thing. So even when I do have an idea of things I would like, and I do, have a bucket list of a few things, I like to keep them to myself.
Yeah. It's hard too. It's like with this project, you and I have known about it for a year and a half. It's like, oh crap,
Yeah. I just
like about it.
Yeah. I just think sometimes I just want to kind of keep it to myself, and if I do get around to doing it, then kind of present it when I get it done, and then I can brag about it instead of. I definitely don't, with those people that call stuff out all the time and never follow through. I think they're pretty lame. Yeah. So I don't ever want to feel like I'm one of those people.
I know with me, like I made the mistake and opened up my mouth to both Trav and Wessel because I figured out how to front flip a razor. I've got a ramp design in my head that I know will work because I've actually front flipped razors twice on accident. But I know how fast. But I know how fast a rotation needs to be to get back to your wheels, right? So I figured the rotation out because I crashed.
Yes.
But now I know how to get a ramp that will give you that rotation. Right. And so I was talking to Wessel and Trav about it, and they immediately lit up like Christmas trees. Like, when are we going to do this? And I'm like, well, maybe we need to fly back there for a month and figure things out.
Yeah, so, they are two people that will make it happen. If
you're
know. Willing, so are they.
I don't know that I'm willing yet, though. That's the thing.
Now you're screwed.
Well, we got to take a short break. We got Ashley Wilke. She's calling in next here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
I'm Polaris rider Levi Valley, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris Razor XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound. The sound of sports. The sound at the racetrack. And the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, Jim Beaver, Jolene Van Vugt, and we are welcomed today by Ashley Wilke. How's everything going, Ashley?
So good. How are you?
Doing well. You are bouncing around like crazy the past couple of weeks. I'm like, I don't know. I'm getting tired out keeping track of you.
Yeah, I just got home around midnight last night, so I'm still kind of recovering. But it was such a fun not even couple of days. It was like a whole week in Daytona, but it was a blast.
Yeah. How was it? I'm assuming this is your first trip to Daytona, right?
It actually was.
Yeah. So, I mean, tell me about this whole experience, because this was a big deal for Monster. You've been with Monster for a while.
Yeah.
You know, and so obviously this is their big rollout to this new massive sponsorship. I mean, how was it? How was the feedback? I mean, I see on social media, like, there was some backlash here and there, and I thought, I'm like, man, this is the pot calling the kettle black, these NASCAR fans. They endorse tobacco companies and beer companies and rednecks, and I'm like, you guys are really having a problem with the outfits, But I thought it was pretty silly. But how was the whole experience? I mean, take us through it.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely incredible. I flew in and started working on Wednesday, so I was there Wednesday through Sunday, and it was just indescribable. It was so much fun, and the funniest thing is every single fan I talked to they had no idea why people were in uproar about the outfits or thinking we were, too scandalous. Everyone was so welcoming and just was, saying, oh, we support you. We're so happy you're here. So that was unreal. And then I was lucky enough, I got to drive in the pace car one of the nights. So that in itself, I was just dying over how amazing that was. And then obviously having our driver win is crazy. So
yeah, you were there.
It was unreal.
You were in Victory Lane, weren't you?
I was, yeah. I was lucky enough to stand on the podium and just be in that moment, and I was like tearing up because it was just, the energy was unreal. I mean, it was absolutely crazy.
Nice. So what I know you and I talked last year, so what are your plans this year? Because I know obviously you're with Monster, you've been doing a lot of the Supercross stuff. Now NASCAR is rolling. Like, I mean, I think there comes a point in time where you can pretty much be on the weekend every single weekend at this point, right?
Yeah. I think we're still kind of figuring out the final details as to maybe, who's taking on more of the NASCAR and who's taking on more of the Supercross, just in terms of the Monster girls. But, I'm totally down either way. Obviously, the NASCAR experience I just had was incredible, and I would love to continue on with that. And it's a long season, so I'm definitely prepared and ready to work every single weekend and just have a blast with that. So we'll see. I'm assuming within the next couple of days here, we'll get kind of the final details hammered out as to where I will be, but I'm sure I will not be home. I'll be somewhere on the road.
Yeah, and because not only was Monster Energy coming into NASCAR, but there was a massive change just in the format of the racing. And and I know with your job, I don't know how much of the racing you get to see, but how did that go over? Because to me as a fan, it seemed like it went over really well with this new format. I mean, it was a complete change from NASCAR of the past 50 years.
Yeah, no, I was honestly, I could only watch a little bit here and there just because I was all over the place. But I know there was a few people I talked to, a few fans that were a little leery on the whole idea of, splitting it up into the 3 sections. But I think it went really well. I mean, everyone seemed to enjoy it. So I'd say it was a success.
Yeah, definitely. So what's and I was talking with General Tire, and obviously my contract got renewed there, and they were telling me, so you got some new deal working with Lucas Oil, like as an on-air talent possibly for short course season.
So I will actually be working with a new up and coming company and production crew, and we're working on a show called Mod Kids USA.
Okay.
So I will be starting with that, let's see here, on March 10th through 12th, we're doing a boot camp. So it's basically going to be all the kids that are really interested in modified cars and just kind of getting immersed into that Lucas Oil experience. We're going to be doing a boot camp, and I'll be the host for that. And then we're hoping to kind of pitch a show to Netflix, and they've actually kind of started doing filming and stuff for that last year. So yeah, that's exciting because kind of a whole new avenue going into more of the hosting on-air type stuff, but I'm super excited for that. And that's kind of where I see myself in the future. So hopefully this is a kind of a good first step in that direction as well.
Yeah, well, that's kind of your background, and I mean, that's, we
Right,
talked
right.
about that before. It's kind of the direction you've always wanted to go. It's so funny to me. You talk about pitching Netflix. In the past it was like, we're pitching MTV, we're pitching ESPN, we're pitching, it's like, we're pitching Netflix, which makes sense because Netflix is probably in as many homes and devices as major network TV at this point in time. You know?
Yeah, no, that everything's going in that direction. So I think if we seal the deal there, we're golden.
Yeah. Have you unplugged your TV yet, or are you just rolling off the iPad, or do you still have a TV in your house?
I still have a TV, but when I was traveling so much, I pretty much watch everything on Hulu or Netflix off the iPad. But every now and then I turn on the TV. But it's kind of a dying thing, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So we got to talk a little bit of Supercross here. Obviously, you've been at some of these rounds. I think when Roxon went down, a lot of wind kind of escaped out of the series, and it was like everyone's like, oh man, Dungey's going to run away with it. Man, were we wrong? This has been some of the best racing I think I've seen in years in Supercross.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think everyone obviously loves Dungey, but I think people were maybe ready for a little switch up, see if there was some serious competition. And when he went down, I think people were pretty upset. And it was actually that weekend we had even a few more drivers go down just during the practice. So it's been a really crazy season as far as injuries and all that. But I know our monster riders have been killing it. Tomac's been doing so good. So hopefully, our monster train is just going to keep moving forward and accelerating this year.
Yeah. How was it? How was it being there? What was it, 2-3 weeks ago when Chad Reed went from 4th to 2nd? I was watching it on TV, and I was literally on my feet screaming at the TV. My wife and daughter run in, what's the matter? And I'm like, Reed just passed 2 of the best to take 2nd. I'm like, I can only imagine what it was like to be on grounder for that.
It was absolutely so incredible. I have never heard the crowd react everyone was cheering. It was incredible. And I mean, he's due to get back up there. So we were super excited. And yeah, the way the fans reacted, I have never in the past 2 seasons now that I've worked Supercross heard such like an uproar and not uproar, but you know what I mean, saying like just everyone was just cheering, and it was really, really cool. It was a cool moment to be a part of.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. That's one. I look at that and I'm like, you go down at the end of the season, and they start playing back the best moments of the year, and I'm like, even though it wasn't for first, that was such an amazing move. And I mean, Chad, like,
oh yeah,
there's nobody that doesn't like Chad Reed. There's just nobody that doesn't like him at this point.
He's such a fan favorite. Usually at all the autograph signings that they do, before the race, he's got the longest line. So. Yeah, he's such a nice guy, too. He's well-deserved.
Yeah, you hear people go, I wonder when Reed's going to retire, and then you watch it pass like that, and I'm like, I hope not anytime soon,
Yeah. No, he needs to keep going.
Yeah, exactly. So what's up next for you?
Oh, my gosh, that's such a good question. I am not really sure. I'm kind of, like we were talking about a few minutes ago, kind of just waiting and seeing where I will be next week, but I know we've got NASCAR in Atlanta is coming up next week, and then I want to say Supercross is in Toronto. So I'm assuming and hoping that I'll be at one of those. We'll see.
If not, you're always welcome at the Mint 400 this weekend too. Sure, General Tire would have you there.
I know. I'm gonna miss it this year, but I'm sure I'll run into everyone and have some fun with them.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a good time. Well, I appreciate you calling in and kind of telling us what happened there in Daytona and recapping everything. And we'll have to. Are you going to be at all the Lucas? You're going to be at all the Lucas races this year, correct?
Not all of them, but a good majority of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'll have to talk with you off air. We're working on some kind of possible like Lucas recap segment with General Tire.
Oh, cool.
And your name had popped up in our conversation about possibly calling in and doing some hosting with me and, kind of talking Lucas Oil and things like that at events you're out at. So
perfect.
Yeah, I'll have to give you a ring off air sometime. So.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Thanks for everything, Ashley.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right. You too.
All right, bye.
All right, that was Ashley Wilke with Monster Energy, and I don't know, she's been with Traxxas, General Tire, just quite a few, but she bounces around. She travels about as much as we do, Joe.
Lots of traveling.
Lots of traveling. And Chad Reed, you got to be a Chad Reed fan.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody's a Chad Reed fan.
Yeah, I think so.
There was like a point there where it was like I think there was some people that weren't Chad Reed fans, but he's come back now, and like everybody's a Chad Reed fan.
Well, it's nice, too, to see somebody that's been doing it for so long still doing so well. And I think that's what pulls people maybe that even weren't fans of him maybe, years back, to still see him out there crushing it. I think they kind of come around because they're just like, wow, he's still out there giving it and doing well.
Yeah, there was a post, and I gotta pull this guy's name up. So I was reading an article, and I hadn't really heard about him, and I followed him on Instagram because his story's so rad. Have you heard of Ronnie Ford? He is racing Supercross. He is like 44 years old, and he's racing Supercross on a two-stroke CR250. I think it's CR250. It might be another brand, but 250 two-stroke. And he goes, there was an interview with Transworld, and they're like, well, what's going on here? And he's like, I still thought I had a little gas. Like back in the 90s, I guess he raced Supercross, and thought he had a little gas left in the tank, and he went away, and he's got like a commercial kitchen cleaning service or something like that, where you go and clean restaurant kitchens. Done well. And he's like, I felt like I had a little gas in the tank. I came back to Supercross. He's like, I don't plan on racing against Dungey, but he's like, if I make the night show sometime, he's like, that's a big deal for me.
Oh,
his wife's supportive, and they're like, well, why are you doing on a two-stroke? And he's like, I know how to ride two strokes best. He's like, that's all I own.
Like Travis,
he's like, that's all
I want to.
He goes, that's all I own, and he says, and the fans love it. They showed a picture. There's like all these legit Supercross riders. Not that he's not legit, but you know what I mean? You've got all these big name guys, and here's this Ronnie Ford.
Factory guys.
Yeah, all these factory guys. Here's Ronnie Ford, and his line's twice as long for autographs because he's on a two-stroke. He's like the two-stroke guy, and he's older, and it's like, I'm like, this guy, I got to meet him. I got to get him on air because that's like the type of story I love.
Yeah.
So he's just doing it, living the dream. That's all.
Living the dream.
His wife's supporting him, and so what can you do,
Yeah.
So they're like, well, how are you paying for this? He's like, I got a couple sponsors. I got a pretty good business. And he's like, so I'm vacationing. But
privateer. I mean, that's how we all start out. And eventually, I think that's all how we end up. I mean, if you're lucky enough to get into the factory rig sort of circle for a while there, but eventually you all end up as a privateer.
Yeah, that's what's I just thought it was a super cool story. And I'm like, man, okay, if he made the night show on a two-stroke, that's going to be big headlines.
Yeah.
Because I don't know when the last time that happened, but it's been a while. I know when Trav did the Red Bull Straight Rhythm, it was a big deal that he did it on a two-stroke.
Yeah, Trav has a soft spot for two-strokes, so he... Yeah.
That's about the easiest way to put it. He's got a soft spot for two-strokes. All right, we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we got... I got a little quick Dirtfish Rally report and some project action to talk about. And then we got Amy Hood calling in for a couple segments. We got Tanner Foust coming up. So stay tuned here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
money. Blue Water Resort and Casino is doing it again. $32,200 in cash will be given away in March with their Lucky Clover Cash giveaway.
Thank my lucky stars. With 9 chances to spin the wheel on Saturdays every half hour from 2 till 6 p.m. Arizona time.
And we're back on Friday, March 31st, when one person will win $20,000 at 7 p.m.
Lucky Clover Cash giveaway. See the club for details.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Do you race or are you a weekend warrior? Have you checked on the date on your helmet recently? Don't get caught off guard by using an outdated helmet. Impact Racing, the leader in motorsport safety, has new SA 2015 helmets to fit your budget. Whether you're looking for a helmet with a full carbon fiber shell to take you to victory at the Indy 500 or just looking for some helmets for a weekend at Glamis, Impact Racing has a helmet for you. Find out more information at impactraceproducts.com or on Facebook at Impact Safety. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. And this is your Dirtfish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. Find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. And if you want a discount up there at Dirtfish, you can use the coupon code JBDirtfish, 15% off your class. Talking a 3-day class, you're talking... I don't know, $500-$600. So you can tell me thank you later. Use JB Dirtfish. But the Dirtfish Rally Report, man, we got some Red Bull GRC news to chat on. I was up there at Dirtfish this past weekend, and man, I got to tell you, those boys, Connor Martell, James Rimmer, they are on fire getting ready for this new season. But I kind of want to talk a little bit about the venues, because a couple of these venues are coming out, you know, and a big one is Memphis to kick off the season. Memphis has kind of got me pumped. I don't know. That's one. Maybe I can get a job or something so I can go back there, because that one should be fun. There at Memphis. It's Memphis Raceway Park, and then Indianapolis. Big. You know, it was kind of swarming. Where's it going to be in Indy? Where is this round going to be out at Indianapolis? I mean, this is a massive deal for Red Bull GRC to be racing in Indianapolis, and it's going to be at IRP in Indianapolis Raceway Park, so it won't be at the Motor Speedway. It will be at IRP. Still an amazing facility there. Red Bull GRC is kind of started rolling out some of their events, and I don't know, man, it's shaping up to be pretty solid. Just kind of looking at the whole event schedule, I can throw some estimates out there. Kentucky, I got no idea. Connecticut, I got no idea. Canada, well, I got no idea. I can't even throw out estimates. What am I talking about? Atlantic City, that's going to be the same place as last year. Seattle will be the same place as last year, so Los Angeles will as well. So, yeah, I'm pretty lame at this guesstimating stuff, because half of them I don't know. Canada, it's like, I don't know. I told them they need to have it all the way up northern Canada, up by the Arctic Circle, and put studs on the cars, and that was my advice to Red Bull GRC. I don't think they bit that, though, so I'm thinking more along the lines of Toronto or Vancouver or something like that. So, they didn't like that idea. Don't know why, but so Red Bull GRC, they got the calendar out in the wild, and they're starting to fill in dates, and that is always a good thing. You know, we're playing silly season with drivers currently. So that's another big one. Who's going to land where? And, we're going to find out probably sooner rather than later. But, that was your Dirtfish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. Find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com, and we'll be back after this break.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder R.J. Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. And got a little bit of project action coming at you. Got our token project action plug here. Thanks to all you guys who have been tuning into Project Action. I had a really big Q&A show last week. I hadn't ever done one of those, but we literally had like 30 questions in the hopper for me. So spent a whole episode kind of answering those. It's a ton of fun. Not going to do that every week, but a lot of fun. Had some really good guests, past couple of weeks, and stoked to have my good friend Jolene Van Vugt as my guest on Project Action this week, dropping Thursday on the Podcast One Network, iTunes, my website, and the Podcast One app. So make sure you go over to iTunes and subscribe to the podcast, and then rate and review it when you're there. And once you rate and review, if you leave that review, if you leave your Twitter @username, I will go and follow you back. So it's my promise to you. So Twitter, I guess, and or Instagram, leave that @username. Once I see it in the review, I will go and search you out and follow you, because I know you're a listener to Project Action. So thanks to all you guys who have tuned in, and we're still trending. Like, we're up there, top 20. Sometimes we bounce into the top 10 podcasts. We're like literally up against like the ESPNs and stuff like that. So it's been kind of humbling to know you guys like it that much. So thanks to all you guys for keeping that show up there on the top of the charts. And I can promise we are going to continue to punch out some really, really good content over there. And, and not only that, but this show, that show, any shows, you got any guest suggestions, ideas, something you want me to talk about, cover, make sure and hit me up. It's @JimBeaver15 on Twitter and Instagram, and now Facebook. I think I just changed my Facebook, so I'm all the way the same across the board. So it should be, I don't know, Jolene and I just had this conversation about things being unanimous across the board, and mine's officially that way now. So yeah.
That definitely being any advice giving, to people coming up in any type of business or action sports or anything like that, where you're trying to have all these different media platforms, is keep it all the same and try to use your name. Yeah. It's just kind of makes everything easier for people to tag you in and people to look you up, and just kind of get your social media out there a little bit easier and be recognized, instead of having some silly incognito name that people don't know. I mean, unless you want to be that way, but
yeah, I've got one of those. So
yeah,
do you.
People, get to a point where you do stuff like that on purpose, but it's hard when you're trying to, include people in a lot of your social medias, and they have different names for all their different outlets. And I'm still struggling actually with Twitter. I, have tried to do that and get across my media platforms, all just my name, Jolene Van Vugt. But somebody has been holding my Twitter hostage
for years.
So I have continued to have Jolene Van Vugt 63 on my Twitter, and they won't verify me either. Twitter has not yet verified me either, whereas my other platforms are all just Jolene Van Vugt and totally verified. Odd. Twitter, take note. Yeah. Come on, help me out.
Get with
here.
the program, Twitter. All right, we're going to take a short break. We come back. Sounds like Amy Hood's going to be calling in. She's got some Monster Jam stuff, some Supercross stuff to talk. I don't know. We got some stuff to talk about anyways. So we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Honey, Blue Water Resort and Casino is doing it again. $32,200 in cash will be given away in March with their Lucky Clover Cash giveaway.
Thank my lucky stars. With 9 chances to spin the wheel on Saturdays every half hour from 2 till 6 p.m. Arizona time.
And we're back on Friday, March 31st, when one person will win $20,000 at 7 p.m.
Lucky Clover Cash giveaway. See the club for details.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver and Amy Hood here, coming at you. It's been a couple of weeks there, Hood. What's happening?
Not too much. Just hanging out in Baltimore. I'm out of California for the next little while. I'm going on the road actually now with my crew, and I'm going to be driving for the next couple weekends to my last few rounds of my first quarter of my first year in Monster Jam. It's kind of bittersweet. I'm a little sad. It's coming to an end. It went by so fast.
Yeah, it seems like you just started. It seemed like we just had this conversation, and it's crazy. It's like winding down. So here, let me ask you this. So thing winds down. Obviously, you got World Finals. We're hoping you qualify for that. But after World Finals, are you guys just kind of off for? Do you have anything in the fall? How's that work?
We do. We're kind of waiting, I guess, to get the full schedule out because I think it changed a little bit. But we have pretty much my whole month of April is booked up. I have rounds in April, and then I think I have June and July off, and then come August I have some more. So, but it's kind of up in the air. I think we got to wait. They change everything around. So I guess I'll know here hopefully pretty soon, and especially for World Finals. I mean, I am itching to find out if I get a spot in the Double Down Showdown. It's called. That's is getting replaced by the Young Guns. That's what the race used to be. So it's kind of all the rookies, the younger generations. We battle it out. So yeah, I'm interested to find out.
Yeah, and if you win that, you get a spot in the main event, right? They hold one spot for whoever's the winner of that, right?
Actually, I think it's if they win my series. And right now, Justin Seitz is actually in the lead. But Camden Murphy, I think we had both of those boys on the show. But Camden is kind of pulling up the rear right now in second place. And him and Justin are exchanging event wins pretty often. Like every day it's one or the other. So it's getting good. I mean, it's like the Dungey Roxon battle to the finish. It's been interesting.
Yeah. How you figuring out those razors yet? You getting those dialed in?
I have. I actually won myself a couple razor races, and I have to thank my man, Seth Quintero, and also Mitch Guthrie Jr. I reached out to both of them, and I'm like, yo, listen, I need some help. Help me out. Give me your skills and give me the lowdown on how to make these things go. And they actually did give me some good tips and help because I won a couple.
Nice. Well, I had some big news. It dropped, and so, we're Star Car officially unveiled. I know it's been like 18 months in the making, so we got that going on. I was out in Lake Elsinore filming for a video that dropped literally a few minutes ago, and then we just revealed, along with Jolene Van Vugt, Tanner Foust is joining me at the Mint as a co-driver. So we've got the dream team going into the Mint.
The dream team, are you sure? Because you're missing somebody.
Yeah. Well,
really?
we got some ringers. Let's put it this way. We got some ringers coming into the Mint. Let's just say that. Some ringers coming into the Mint. But yeah, it's I'm pretty excited. This car is ridiculously fast, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a really cool color of blue.
Blast.
So
I cannot wait to see some video footage and just, see how everything goes down. And I'm really bummed I'm going to be missing the Mint this year. Usually it is the week before World Finals because all the drivers actually have a week off. And I would have that week off as well, too, so I'd be able to do the Mint and then have Vegas World Finals. And it's worked so well the last couple of years, so I'm kind of bummed that it's not now. They changed it.
Yeah, they changed it by a week and kind of screwed a lot of people up. Yeah, so you're not going to be there. I had to go out and recruit some co-hosts. It took 2 of them to fill your spot. So
there you go.
Yeah, so good people though. We got Jim Riley and Sarah Price are going to be holding it down. So
nice.
So yeah, it was just one of those things. We needed the female voice. We needed the male voice. Jim's my buddy. We do radio together all the time, anyways. And then Sarah is Sarah. So yeah, should be good.
Jim's awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, like I said,
at least you got some decent fill-ins, but again, like you said, it does take 2. I'd like to think so.
Yeah. So you're on the East Coast swing now. What do you guys got left as far as dates go to wrap things up here?
Oh, well, I will be heading, I think tomorrow or the next day, and the next day happens to be my birthday. We are heading to Allentown, Pennsylvania, and then wrapping it up our last round in Providence, and then we head to Vegas, and I think I'm going to go head home for the first time in about 3 months.
Do you have
for
a house
couple
left?
Days, and then go to Vegas.
Do you have a house left?
I kind of, not really. I kind of rented it out to somebody, but I'm kind of looking to see where I'm going to go next. I actually have, my good girlfriend Michelle. Her brother's kind of wanting to actually rent my house out full time. And then I just might become a world traveler, Jim. Might come hang out in Arizona, officially maybe get a place in California. So
good luck
we'll
with paying
see.
that bill.
I go where the sunshine goes, and now I guess officially go where the monster trucks go.
Sun shines in Texas, and it's a lot cheaper than California. They're their own country over there.
I know.
You got 49 states in California.
Speaking of the United States, we had a pretty cool experience at Monster Jam this weekend in Baltimore. Ivanka Trump actually came down with her husband and her 2 kids, and they came down to check out Monster Jam. And it was really cool because all of the Secret Service was there, and it was obviously kept pretty private. All of us only found out the time when she did arrive. But it was really cool because she actually got to go. She climbed up in a truck with her son, and she sat in the digger truck, and she came out and met all of us, and she's lovely. She is great. Like, talk about female empowerment, hashtag girl power. Like, that woman is amazing. But then, I met her daughter, Bella, and she was a little bit timid. Like, I didn't know how she would kind of fare with the monster trucks, and after my wheelie run I did some huge sky wheelies, straight up and down. And then my kind of thing, as you know, Jim, is like get out, go on the roof of the truck, and I do the zombie arms. And I was like, okay, the Trumps are here. If I'm going to do good wheelies or bad wheelies, I'm getting out, and I am going to do those zombie arms because I really wanted to, give them the full Monster Jam, Amy Hood zombie showmanship experience. And I broke my truck after that. I did some great wheelies, got great scores. I tied for first place. And my truck broke, and I couldn't make it out for donuts. But the Trumps actually stayed to watch me go out and do donuts. Bella wanted to watch Zombie go out. And when, the big VPs had to go up and tell them actually that my truck was broken, I wasn't going to make it out, they were so disappointed. So they actually came down. I got to meet them, and she gave me a big hug, the little Ivanka's little daughter, and she gave me this little shaker egg, and it says to keep on singing. And it just made my life, Jim. Like, I want to become an American citizen now. It was amazing. And actually, Ivanka said she's going to Supercross next week. So,
nice.
I mean, how amazing is that? The presidential, what's it called? The first family? Is that what it is? The royal family, first family?
It'd be the first family,
yeah. Monster truck races and Supercross. Like, that is amazing. I like it.
Well, 2 months ago, you were telling me you were proud to be a Canadian. Now you're switching your tune. You're proud to be an American?
You know it, I am, because I just think that's really cool, to represent core cultures and, things that make not only America, but the U.S., like things that, bring our community together, like Supercross and like Monster Jam. I just think is really cool that they actually take the time to go and do things like that. And it actually meant a lot to me, obviously. And I just think it's really cool.
It is cool. It is cool.
It's humbling. Like, it's humbling for me. I think it really, grounds them. Like, they don't think of themselves, high and mighty. Like, they go to a Monster Jam. Like, heck yeah.
There's nothing more American than monster trucks. America!
Monster trucks and Mountain Dew.
Well, I don't know. I'd say beer, but
Jim.
Oh, yeah. No, that was awesome. I saw they went out there, and that's cool. You got to meet them and hang out and everything else. We got to take a short break, though, and when we come back, you and I got to chat with some Supercross and some Mint 400. So all that and more coming up here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. A 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Honey, Blue Water Resort and Casino is doing it again. $32,200 in cash will be given away in March with their Lucky Clover Cash giveaway.
Thank my lucky stars. With 9 chances to spin the wheel on Saturdays every half hour from 2 till 6 p.m. Arizona time.
And we're back on Friday, March 31st, when one person will win $20,000 at 7 p.m.
Lucky Clover Cash Giveaway. See the club for details.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here with Ivanka Trump's sister, Amy Hood.
Oh, my.
It's getting deep in here.
I want to get carried away there, Jim, but yeah, I'm a new fan, that's for sure.
Yeah. She's always seemed, obviously I don't know her, but she's always seemed pretty darn classy, so...
she's classy and cool, so she's got best of both worlds.
Nice. So, hey, did you get a chance to watch any of the Supercross this past weekend?
Obviously not. I never do, but I catch the highlights. I always kind of follow up on my Supercross, and we do follow the live feed, but we don't get out of the arena until about 1 a.m. on a Saturday. Yeah. There's just my Supercross these days has just gone out the window. But I did happen to see Zach Osborne finally make a top-of-the-podium Supercross debut. And congratulations to him. I know it's been a long time coming. So I couldn't be happier for that guy.
Yeah, it's definitely been a long time coming. He's slammed himself right at the top of the points of 250 East. I got to tell you, 250 West, man, we had a shootout, so it's going to be really interesting to see how these 250 East shape up there. Savacci and Martin and Smith, and we got some solid talent. It's hard to keep up with all these new names coming in.
I know, it's crazy, and and even for 450, it's we're only halfway through the season. It doesn't seem like that. Monster Jam's ending. Shouldn't Supercross be ending? Just kidding, but. No, it's we still got a long way to go, and Vegas is quite a ways away, and it's
we're months from Vegas at this point. I
know it's crazy. This year's kind of taken its without the high flying action of Ken Roczen. I just think it's turtling along. But again, the 450s is most interesting. It's
you're wearing the Roczen hat there, are you?
I know. But 450 is probably the most interesting season it's been all year, or for years. It's still anybody's game. Dungey's not on top. Somebody different all the time. Dungey definitely this weekend rode his old self, but Marvin Muscat is getting more comfortable every round, and I just think it's shaping out to be, like I said, last weekend, one of the best Supercross years we've seen in forever in 450. It's finally interesting.
Yeah, so let's make a bet. Let's keep this interesting. Let's pick a guy we like to talk about on the show, Chad Reed. I talked about him earlier with Ashley Wilke. Let's talk Chad Reed. We gotta have some kind of bet. We're gonna make this interesting for us. What's the bet? Over under? You think Reed's gonna take a win this year or no?
No.
No. Good. I'll say yes. So we got a bet going. All right, you say no, I say yes, and here's the deal: if he makes the win, if he gets a win, you have to text Reed and get him on the show. If he doesn't win, right, I will text Reed and get him on the show. So either one of us is going to have to eat crow to Chad Reed.
He's going to be super mad at me that I bet against him, though.
That's what's going to make this so much great. This is what's going to make it great.
Hey, Chad. So, you won me a bet, and I got to come on the radio show for not winning a round. It's rough. No, I think he would actually think that's hilarious and would like to come on even more.
Yeah.
But he would be mad at me because
he wouldn't be mad at you, but he would
cool.
give you
We're
endless crap for at least 10 minutes.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
So.
That's funny. That's a good bet. I like that. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Deal.
You're betting against Chad Reed. That is not something I would ever do. I think
I know, but I just don't think so right now. With the level of talent and like the shakedown of these young like Cooper Webbs and the hungry Marvin Muscans. Like there's no way that Marvin Muscan is going to let Chad Reed take home a win if everybody's strong and healthy, and especially the level that Dundree's riding at. I think Chad for sure podium ability, absolutely. 450 win, and at this year 2017 with how stacked the top three boys are. No, I just don't think it's in his cards this year. And unfortunately it's that way. Like, unfortunately, the competition is so stiff, but fortunately, the competition is so stiff. I love the guy, but I do think, these younger, hungrier athletes are just, ahead in the line for that win. And I don't think they're going to let Gramps McGee over there take it from them. I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry.
Gramps McGee? You are digging a hole. Like, seriously, you're beyond 6 foot under at this point.
Oh, it's good. I like it. I can throw some heat because I'm getting old in 2 days. So,
well,
I'm having my 21st birthday for the 7th time.
Yeah. You're 28, right? You turned 28?
No, I'm 21 for the 7th time.
Okay. Yeah, you just keep telling yourself that.
I will. I will.
As you get out of bed and you can't move and you're like, I'm turning 21.
It's going to be like that for a long time, I think.
Yeah. So, no, it's been good. Good to see Dungey back on top. He keeps his points lead up there. He's still, he's like we've always said, he's the locomotive. He just keeps pushing on. How about the track design these guys have had this year? They've been throwing out. I've been digging the tracks. We got Daytona coming up. That one's always interesting.
Oh, I always am really excited for a Daytona. Usually built by Ricky Carmichael, outdoor style. We really get to see a look at these boys, an early look at these guys' ability, for their outdoor ability and their stamina. It's usually really long, challenging, hard track. So it's Daytona always makes it interesting and usually shakes up the field. I remember when Kevin Windham used to be the one coming through the pack and winning that, Daytona. And it's just that I always like when you have these random rounds that shakes things up for the points.
Yeah, biggest thing that kind of sucks about Daytona to me this year is it's always such a long track, and now they're doing this time thing, right? So before when they had to do 20 laps,
I've heard about this.
You've heard about the time for this year.
That's right. Yeah, no. Okay.
So no, when they had to do 20 laps. 20 laps of a 1 minute track, it was 20 minutes. But now, Daytona's always, it's a minute and a half, 2 minute tracks, 20 laps. They were on there for like 30, 40 minutes, right? So now it's the endurance doesn't quite have to be as bad because they're only still going to have to do 20 minutes around, Daytona. So I think it's shortening up the race, especially at Daytona for these guys. So it's going to make it a little bit easier. So I don't know. It's my prediction.
Let's
so
just hope it rains because you can't beat Daytona mud races. Those make for some of the most epic racing of all time for sure.
Yeah, that's it gets pretty gnarly there. But that's coming up. That's gonna be fun. One of my favorite events of the year. That's a non-Feld event, right?
I'm pretty bummed that I'm missing Daytona. I haven't missed Daytona in years. I used to go every year with my girlfriends and make we go for bike week, Daytona 200. Like we stay for.
I was gonna say, do you actually make it to the races though?
We do, surprisingly enough. I mean, yeah, haven't missed one yet.
Oh heck! So I don't know. What we got a couple minutes left. What's up left in your world here? Monster Jam. You're on the East Coast right now, and you're traveling around. And I don't know what are the 2 rounds you got left.
Oh, we already went over this, Jim. My gosh, don't you pay attention to anything that I say? But no, I mean, most thing I'm looking forward to is World Finals. They got it coming up. It's going to be a new experience, something I've never really, I've obviously been to Vegas. I've been to Monster Energy Cup, but I hear that Monster Jam World Finals in Las Vegas is something like no one's ever seen. It's like, you know, these monster trucks take over Las Vegas, and there's like a 5-day long pit party. Like it's going to be epic. I'm so excited to take in this experience, and I think a lot of my friends and family are going to be coming, especially if I make it in, and it's going to be surreal. I'm really hoping that you and Addie can make it out too. We've been talking about that, getting you guys down if I make it in. So yeah, fingers crossed. Wish me luck.
Yeah, you'll have a lot of people. You got a lot of friends in Vegas that'll come out for it if you qualify in.
Oh, for sure. So. Yeah, a lot of my girlfriends and guy friends from California, they're all planning on coming down if I make it in from Cali. So it's fingers crossed.
Yeah, should be fun. Is there any kind of fan vote that ties into that, or is it strictly just on track?
I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm going to have to wait and see.
So, yeah, definitely wait and see. But we got to wrap things up here, Hood. Thanks for the couple of segments. I know after the Mint we'll get things back dialed in with the phone lines and everything else, and get you back on here, I guess, full time again. So.
Absolutely. That sounds good to me. And then hopefully by then my tour will be wrapping down, and you got me back 100%.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Amy.
All right. Stay good, guys. Have fun. Bye.
Bye. All right. That was Amy Hood. We're going to take a short commercial break. And when we come back, we got Tanner Foust on the line talking Star Car Polaris RZR. I am pretty darn pumped. I'm thinking Jolene and I and Tanner, we're like the trifecta, like the dream team, the ringers. I don't know. We got a solid effort here. So Tanner Foust, he is up next here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Do you race, or are you a weekend warrior? Have you checked on the date on your helmet recently? Don't get caught off guard by using an outdated helmet. Impact Racing, the leader in motorsport safety, has new SA 2015 helmets to fit your budget. Whether you're looking for a helmet with a full carbon fiber shell to take you to victory at the Indy 500, or just looking for some helmets for a weekend at Glamis, Impact Racing has a helmet for you. Find out more information at ImpactRaceProducts.com or on Facebook at Impact Safety.
Honey, Blue Water Resort and Casino is doing it again. $32,200 in cash will be given away in March with their Lucky Clover Cash giveaway.
Thank my lucky stars. With 9 chances to spin the wheel on Saturdays every half hour from 2 till 6 p.m. Arizona time.
And we're back on Friday, March 31st, when one person will win $20,000 at 7 p.m.
Lucky Clover Cash giveaway. See the club for details.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'd like to welcome my next guest to the line, my teammate for this weekend, Tanner Foust. How's everything going, buddy?
It's great. Are you ready for this weekend? That's the question.
I am ready. I've been lucky enough that I've had a little test time in this Polaris Razor Turbo. I know you haven't had the chance to wheel it yet, but I got to tell you, man, this build is it's a ton of fun. It is a ton of fun. So I think you're gonna have a good time with it.
Yeah, no, I'm looking. I've seen a couple photos. I've seen some of the beefing with. I mean, it looks definitely strong enough. So we're just going to have to make it fast, aren't we?
Yeah, and that's we've got it actually today. It's being tuned. We got some little ECU tuning going on and some billet clutches going into it, and so I don't know. Hopefully things are dialed in for race day, and we'll be able to push it to the front. We got not a bad starting position. I think there's like I don't know, is there like 40 in our class or something crazy? And we start 15th, so we didn't get a bad draw. Could be worse. Could be starting 40th out of 40 or something like that. So not too bad.
Yeah. No, I've kind of always wanted to do the Mint 400. I've heard that it has a lot of rally roads that are fast. It's got some rough sections, but it's got a lot of fast, flowy roads that would kind of fall into a rally driver's hand a little bit. But in your testing, I mean, how was it? Is it really dusty out there? It should be pretty good with all the rain we've been having, right?
Yeah, and actually today, I know out here in Arizona, it's raining today, and I'm assuming generally if it's raining here, it's a pretty good chance. We're not far from Vegas. There's a good chance they're getting rain, so I'm really excited about that going, man, we're lucky that we're in the morning race before it gets torn up too bad. So I think at least the first 2 laps are going to be pretty solid. I'm not going to say dust-free, but might not be that blinding, I guess whiteout conditions that sometimes we get in the desert either. So,
yeah, I mean, if there's low dust, then on those flowing rally roads, oh my gosh, that's going to be so much fun. Just going to be able to haul ass through there.
Yeah, well, and I know in the past year you've kind of dove into the Razor space quite a bit. I know Polaris there. I saw you got a nice RZR there on your GRC car for this year, but I know you've started to do some stuff with them. I know you were wheeling one in your video you did last year too.
Yeah, we did a quantum drift video where we got to drive a bunch of different stuff, but the Razor's a big part of that. And so we partnered up with Polaris for this year, and it's been something I've wanted to do for a long time. So I'm really excited about the partnership. I mean, ever since using one on Top Gear and going out a couple times with friends and seeing just basically how, it's as close to hardcore rally racing as you can get without paying an entry fee and having a $500,000 car, and just the fun factors through the roof for, how much things cost. It's really amazing. So I'm stoked to have the partnership and do all kinds of fun stuff with the Razors, not just race them with you, but, do other fun videos and just have some fun.
Yeah, I know the biggest thing Razor, what drew it to me is, it's like, I've got the trophy truck sitting in the garage, and I take that thing out, and, you're writing 4-figure checks every time you go and test, at least. 4 and 5-figure checks. But Razor for 25 grand, I can take that thing out, and I can have a ton of fun, and all it costs me is, a couple bucks for, a gallon of gas, and, here's instant fun. It's like, so to me, that's what's been the draw. It's like I can still have the fun I do in a trophy truck at a much, much smaller price tag.
It's kind of ridiculous, actually, if you think about it, because it's really kind of filled in one of the gaps between professional racing and weekend warrior, going out and off-roading with your family. And there's because you could get an off-road vehicle and go hang out and have a good time and go camping or something like that, but you couldn't go compete with all the organization and all the hoopla and everything that goes on with actual racing, without breaking the bank, like you said. So, but now I think the Razor sort of helps you bridge that gap. You can literally take your Razor, put in some seats, and modify a few things, and all of a sudden you're out there racing on a televised show. It's really incredible, and that's and I'm such a proponent of that, because I talk to so many people who are always like, how do I get your job? How do I get into racing? And I've always had kind of a question mark there that I don't really know what to tell you except just stick with it. But, it's things like this and it's things like the Razor that kind of bridge that gap. And I think it actually gives people some baby steps to actually get into racing in an affordable way. And that's sort of unheard of throughout history,
Yeah, well, and I know even with me, it's like we built this race Razor, and it's a legit full-on race build. But I was driving this thing, and I was like, this mirrors, the trophy truck, the way it reacts and the way it corners and things like that. And like, to me, with this race build, I was like, this very much is like a miniature version of, of my trophy truck. And to me, that was what blew my mind. I mean, even more so than the stock Razor. And like you were saying, people want to know how to get involved and things like that. I'm like, man, here's the perfect tool for going out and being able to, kind of experience what guys like you and I get paid to do and have a lot of fun with on the weekends. So,
exactly. It really is. It really is awesome. And I haven't had a chance to actually compete in a race with the Razor. I've gone out plenty of times with friends, and I've kept close watch on my buddy Reese Millen and other friends that have been racing them for a little while and building them. But so I appreciate the opportunity, Jim, because it's going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to have you out in the desert. Did you ever do Baja? You've done Baja in the past, right, or no?
I did. I've done it 4 times.
Okay.
Always in the Baja Challenge class.
Okay.
Which actually has quite a bit less horsepower than the Razor. I think they're like 90 horsepower or something. Little Volkswagen engines and Subaru engines. But they're tough buggies, and that's been a great experience. A lot of dust in that one, and the last one I did was the 1,230-mile version that went all the way to Cabo.
Yeah, those things are just grueling when you get into that. It's just I'm anxious to have you out, man. It's going to be fun to have you in the desert. I know. It's going to be, I don't know, you bring kind of a different element to the Mint 400. I think it'll be good for everybody, and hopefully, not only have you out at this one, but hopefully you get bit by the bug and we see you out at more of them.
I'm ready. I understand you're doing like 4 other rounds. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing a total of 4 rounds this year, and I don't know how many in 2018. I don't know. We got to get that figured out, I guess, once schedules and stuff start rolling. But
well, hopefully the next time that I see you at an off-road event, we can still be friends, because I'm getting a couple Razors from Polaris as part of our partnership. So after this, I may have to build one and come out and compete against you.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we can keep it amicable.
Yeah.
Actually, let's just not even talk about that yet. We'll put a pin in that and come back. Talk about that later.
Yeah. See, you're going to drive this one, and you're going to figure out what you like and you don't like. So when you go and build your own, you're gonna have it figured out, right?
Life is all testing.
Yeah,
you know that. It's all testing.
That is the truth. So speaking of testing, I know. So you and Scott, you unveiled your liveries for 2017 GRC season. You got to feel pretty darn good going into this year.
Yeah, I think we certainly have the team to beat. And last year ended in a little bit of a rough way for me, having leading the championship and then kind of having it fall apart in the last few minutes of the season. But finishing 1-2 is still great, and for the team, it's as good as you can get. So we've got some new partners this year. Scott has Alberto. I've got Forza, reoccurring sponsorship there that's come back, which is awesome. They're such a great group to be with. And then Razor, and then still sticking with Rockstar, obviously. And it's been a great ride with GRC, and so all the other teams that were pushing very hard. We hear there's new manufacturers coming in. There's everybody's out testing, trying to get their stuff honed, and so you can't just finish 1-2 in the championship and then just park the cars and bring them back the next year and expect to do well. So the guys have been over cranking in Germany and working on the cars and refining things and making things better, more reliable and faster. So we're going to start our testing program here pretty soon for that. And I think the first race is in April.
Yeah, we're getting close. It's kind of snuck up on me. I was like, oh wow, the GRC scheduled kickoff is pretty soon. It looks like they got some pretty cool venues, Memphis and Indy. I mean, some pretty rad venues on the schedule this year too.
Yeah, it's a bummer for those that came to the events last year and were not returning for a second year, or third year in some cases. But it's also great in that the format, I think, of the tracks will be a little bit more similar from venue to venue.
Yeah.
So people kind of know what to expect. A lot of them are like half-mile, 3/8 mile ovals, kind of like we did at Monroe in Seattle, that particular venue, which is a track I've somehow found myself competing on every year for the last 8 years, I think, just from drifting and rallycross. But so that format should be good. It puts on a great show. Seattle was a great show for TV anyway, and you have stands right there so people can get a good view of the whole track from one seat. But it should be an exciting season. So I'm kind of ready. It snuck up on me a little bit too, but we still have a month or so. But I'm ready to get in the car, and like I said, our testing's starting soon. I've already driven the car once this year, and it's always just a little bit of a mind-boggling experience in that little Beetle, that acceleration and the power and everything that it has. It's sort of like a wake-up call for the year. It's like, all right, got to get your ass in gear and get ready to rock, because it gets real pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, and talking about the rest of the year, obviously you raced with Jolene and I at the Mint 400, Red Bull GRC. I know last year you were very fortunate that you did a little bit of Lucas stuff. You've done some drifting. I mean, and I know schedules are still very much fluid, but we're going to see you dabbling in some other stuff as well this year. Is it pretty much all Red Bull GRC?
Honestly, it's one of the best parts about being a rock star athlete is that they're kind of game for whatever you want to do. And so for me, it's been great, because what I like in life is variety, and I've gotten to sample so many different motorsports and so many different disciplines. Hanging with you this weekend, I mean, the Razor that I have now is a rock star build, the drift car, the off-road stuff, rallycross. It's such cool variety. So I never know exactly what's going to happen when a year starts. Yeah. I know that I've got one championship that I'm going to stick to, and in this year it's GRC. And then throughout the year we come up with different events to do, and it fills up the calendar pretty quick, and go try dabble some different stuff. So if I do any Lucas stuff, it'll probably be a track other than Elsinore. And the drift car, I believe, is going to head off to Asia to shoot some videos out there. But who knows what's happening? All I know is this weekend we're going to kick some ass in your Razor.
Yeah, that is the plan, man. I know Jolene's out here. We're going to do some testing with her, and I'm taking her out. She'd never really desert raced before, so we're kind of showing her some lines and things like that, how to read some desert terrain, and getting her kind of up to speed. She's been racing kind of terracross with the short course racers, but I think between that and you and me, and I think it should be a solid trio there. So I think we've got some in the tank for all these guys that are running around up front.
And so testing went well. You drove the car today, or was it yesterday?
I drove it this past weekend. Then we've got some more testing before the race to kind of dial in the fine-tuning stuff. But testing went phenomenal. The suspension wasn't tuned, the clutch and engine weren't fully tuned, and this thing was a rocket. And I was like, oh, man, our base platform is insane. So the car is super lightweight. So I think it's going to be a ton of fun.
Yes. I think that's the key. I think that's where everybody's going, is lower center of gravity, lighter weight.
Yeah.
With these things, so that is awesome.
Yeah, I was pitching it sideways through a bunch of ruts, and I was like, we're going to get up on two wheels here, and the thing sits so low it just skipped right over them, and I was impressed. I was like, all right, you can back this thing into corners, you don't have to worry about anything, so that's always a good thing.
Speaking my language, this is so awesome to hear. I'm really stoked for this. There's kind of nothing like a point-to-point off-road desert racing. I mean, I know we're doing laps of this huge. Yeah. How long are the laps?
106 or 7 miles, I think, something like that.
So these huge laps, but it's just, it is awesome. You cover so much ground. I mean, you skirt across the floor of the desert faster than people can really imagine. And the abuse that these machines take is so incredible. It's, it really is an awesome experience. So thanks again, Jim. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Thank you, Tanner. And, looking forward to this weekend. We will definitely see you in Vegas at the Mint 400, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Thanks.
All right. Thanks. And we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Jolene, Van Vugt here, wrapping things up. Time to get some lunch, get this edited, all those S-bombs edited out of here at 4 different marks.
I was just trying to give somebody something to do today.
I think it's going to end up being me. Oh, no. Great show. Tanner Foust joining Jolene and I in the Polaris Razor Star Car. Super pumped on that. Video's just dropping, so you can go to Tanner's, Jolene's Facebook, my Facebook, Polaris Razors, General Tires. We all have it up. Check out the release video. We got a bunch of pictures. They're going to start circulating on the car, the program, lots of news. It's all out there in the wild now. Thank you guys for hanging out, man. It's been a long journey. I know I kept teasing a big project. Well, this is it. I got nothing left in the tank. I'm telling you, it's all out there now. So you guys know what I know. But super pumped on that. We'll have videos coming out after the Mint. If you are at the Mint 400, definitely swing by, say hey to Jolene, to Tanner. We'd love to meet you guys. We'll be doing radio on Fremont Street on Friday from 11:30 to 1:30 Pacific time. So if you can't make it out to the Mint, you can tune in. We'll have Jolene. We're going to have Tanner. We're going to have Sarah Price, Jim Riley co-hosting with me. We're also going to have, I don't know, I'm looking at Ryan Arciero. We got Mitch Guthrie. I'm just looking down last year. I mean, I can tell you Sal Masakela pops by. We've got Ronnie Renner. It's like literally an open door. We grab people off Fremont. You never know who's going to pop onto the show. It's a ton of fun. 2 hours of literally anything can happen radio. So it starts at 11:30 on Friday on Fremont. And stoked to see you guys out there. Got to give a shout out to Polaris RZR, General Tire, Subaru, Casey Highlights, Gibson, Dirtfish, Impact, Terracross, and the Blue Water Resort and Casino, where Miss Jolene Van Vugt is staying at currently. I don't know if I should throw that out there or not. Whatever.
Yeah, that's okay.
Stalkers coming in on the casino, but
not at all. No, they super stoked. They gave me a great room, and I don't care about that. It's okay.
All right. We won't give out your room number.
That one we'll keep that. We'll keep that one private.
All right. It's at JimBeaver15. Tweet me those. Tweet me, Instagram me those questions, and give me a follow. Amy is at AmyHood71. Jolene, you are at Jolene Van Vugt 63.
That's the Twitter.
That's the Twitter.
Everything else is just Jolene Van Vugt.
Perfect. Don't forget to listen into Project Action, rate, review, subscribe on iTunes, and my interview with Jolene, it's about an hour long, drops this Thursday. And those of you looking for a coupon at Dirtfish, it's JB Dirtfish. It's all mid-400 this week, guys, so I don't know. We got Supercross this weekend too, but
we're excited about this.
We're excited about the mint. So
yeah, this has been a long time in the making, and we're just really excited to have it all out there and I'm excited to experience my first desert race and then come back at you guys with how it all went.
Yeah, we'll definitely be recapping here next week. Thanks to all you guys for the support, and as always, be safe. Game on.